All right, we should be live. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Checking audio levels. Is mic good? Let's take a look at chat real fast. Stang 2007 was first in the house today. What up, Stang? Hope you and the fam and the little one is all doing well. You are not first, Heavy Metal Technology, but close, second place. Maybe next week or a future week, but I'm glad you're here early anyways. What's up, what's up, what's up? Stang's just chilling with the little one, waiting for the stream, doing better from the cold. Glad to hear it. Did you do any medicine, or you just let it naturally go away? We haven't really given our girls any, aside from vitamin D, because apparently if you're on breast milk you need it versus formula, and our girls are kind of mixed, so we were advised to give them vitamin D drops. But other than that, they haven't taken any type of supplement vitamins or medication type stuff. So because we couldn't treat apocalypses like they weren't Lay's chips. What up, Kale? How you doing? And just have one. At least it's looking like my PSU was the culprit in my gaming crashes after all. Knocks on wood. Yeah, I feel like, to me, anytime something starts acting wonky and you can't pinpoint it with simple software stuff like drivers, rollbacks and things like that, or fresh, reformat of Windows, I usually look towards power supply, then motherboard. Unless it's clearly a graphical issue, then I would think okay, maybe the graphics card has something going on. But we're just talking about random blue screens and crashes and stuff. Those I don't really ever look at the graphics card first. But every computer troubleshooting issue is its own thing. But yeah, I was actually helping random people online for an upcoming video actually, and I pointed them towards the motherboard and power supply for their issues. Shouldn't one of the questions be, where are the GPUs being made? And if the price going up, does it mean the labor for making the GPU are earning more money? I don't believe so in this case, unfortunately. I do not think in the factories that these chips are manufactured and assembled, those workers are getting a proportionate increase relative to the price that we're paying. And yeah, speculation is it's because of the memory shortage globally. What up, Craig Lilly? Hello, Roger Phillips from Jackson, Tennessee. Hello from Seattle. What up, Ant-Man? And then also, Jonathan M, are you in the chat by chance? Jonathan M, that's me asking for Jonathan M, because I didn't realize till the end of last stream that I'll play the Fangy. Did I answer this last stream? Does anyone remember? I missed it because they donated through Stream Elements, which I needed to be better about, but I think I might have been in the middle of a sentence. Because the Stream Elements bot looks just like a normal person talking and not like a super chat, even though I get more revenue from it. So I do appreciate Jonathan M for that donation. So I feel bad that I think I might have missed answering that question for them. So Jonathan M, if you are in the chat, please raise your hand and come to the front so I can answer your question. Because you donated $3 and I feel really bad for missing it. And until we find you, I'm gonna have to keep on asking. Hopefully you weren't just a one-time stream viewer and then was upset because I missed your question. John M, kind of like in the Simpsons. Hugh Janus. What's the 9060? It's the 9060 XT, but without the XT. It's hump day again. What's up, In Decline? I see you be doing work. I appreciate that. In the Discord server, you guys might have noticed that in the Discord server this past week, I have not really been there because I'm working on this video and it's crazy, but I'm hoping to get it out by like Black Friday, and it'll be a super fun video. But I've been grinding. I'm running on fumes right now. Yeah, so it's gonna be a super fun video. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Okay, 1 second. Let me get to that let me not forget that super chat. TJ, what's up? Managed to score 48 gigs of RAM for 300 CAD, which is how much? Which is the equivalent of 213 USD for 48 gigs. That is a good price given the climate right now for memory. What up, Chemical Aid? Hello, Tech Blacksmith. What up, Steven Anderson? Get your GPU now. Yes, I believe I've been saying get your GPU now if you need it, like for a long time now. But hopefully people will take that advice, because even if you might be able to save money in the future, it's like, you know, you're kind of betting here. And I think there's a higher likeliness of prices going up rather than it going down. So if prices go down, it's not going to be by much, and like, oh, you overpaid 15 or 20 bucks, you know, because you bought now versus in 3 months. If we're all wrong about the GPU apocalypse, that's not the end of the world. But wouldn't you rather have that than potentially paying 50, 60, 70, $100 more? We don't know how much this is going to all be affected, but if you have the money by now, prices are pretty decent. I'm not a show for any company. I'm not trying to be a salesman. I'm trying to get you guys to maximize, you know, your likelihood of getting a good deal. Dimitri, so punctual. I try to start the stream exactly at 5 every single time. Never earlier. Maybe sometimes a minute or two earlier, but never later than a minute, I think. What up, 12 Big Red? What's good, that boy? I got Chipotle for dinner. $25. It used to be... Wait! You got a one-person Chipotle dinner for $25? No way. You must have DoorDashed it or Uber Eats and added chips and guac and like drink or something. Because Chipotle is ridiculous. I do remember when it was like around $7 or $8. But to get to 25, I mean, even now, I think a bowl or a burrito is like 13 or 14. Even in my state, which has a, you know, $15 minimum wage and is one of the higher cost of living areas. So you did something to make that price like that. For a single person, that's a little much. Billy Bob! What up? Yes! Billy Bob, let me see. What was your actual... yes. Hello. I don't know if you want me to say your name, but that starts with an A. But yes, I saw you. What's up? Good to see you in the stream. Ran across one of your interview vids yesterday. You got a cool channel. Thanks, Wiggle Plays. I appreciate it. I do love doing the interviews. I got a bunch of more fun interviews coming up. As well as, you know, just the typical PC content that I do. But glad you found the channel, and I hope you're enjoying your stay so far. And we're here every single week on this stream just to hang out and chill with the community and talk about whatever there's to talk about in the PC space. Hello, Dispatcher Gaming. I got a In Decline got a free 3070. I'm going to be sending it out to get upgraded. Huh? How much is that gonna cost? Sending out a 3070 to do a mod to upgrade the VRAM, I don't imagine that is gonna be cheap. Like, for a person to do board level like repair / replacement and shipping and everything involved, I don't imagine you're gonna spend less than $100. Like, I would imagine shipping there and back, and the cost of it, and the cost of the parts that they're gonna, you know, add to it would be, you're paying at least $100 for all that, right? Daniel says, hey Danny, I was looking to OLED high refresh rate monitors. Any recommendations? No, unfortunately not. As I've said many a times on the stream, I am not a huge peripheral guy, and I've never dove into the world of OLED, let alone OLED high refresh rate yet, because I'm on a budget and OLED is kind of out of my price range right now. I probably could get a monitor from a company, like for them to send me one, but then like I don't think the content will really jive with the viewers, because it's like, hey, YouTuber gets free expensive item that's so out of touch kind of thing. So I haven't had a chance to play with OLED monitors yet, unfortunately, but the prices are coming down and hopefully they get to a level where I can upgrade my own to that. So yeah. Hello Richard York, what up young? I8R or late? No, that's not later. Huh. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. It might be an acronym for something. Stargate is coming back on Prime. I have never watched Stargate. I cannot lie, but I'm glad you're happy for that. What up, Brian Judkins? Hello. Hello, Pedro from Portugal. So no Jonathan to the front. Okay. All right. Heavy Metal Technology posted this as an ad for my Steam Deck, selling it, posting in the Discord. I will check it out. Thank you for the $5 super chat. You didn't really have to super chat it, but I do appreciate the support. Let me go and take a look at the... Where did you post it? Did you post it in the for sale section? Buy, sell, trade? Let me see. Steam Deck. Wait. This was... Okay. I'm assuming this is you, Kiwi. I forget if you are Heavy Metal Technology. But... if not, there is another Steam Deck that gets a free promotion if this is not you. But okay, you got a 64GB LCD screen Steam Deck with a 500GB micro SD and a screen protector, clear triggers, and buttons. Looking for 300 shipped. Can ship same day. Today. Well, not today because it's probably over. Oh, okay. It's got like custom. Yeah, the clear triggers, and it looks like the cover is got like a wrap or something on it. Okay. And then I believe these ones, even though you have a micro SD in it, you can open these up and actually put a M.2, not like the shorter length ones. I forgot what the standard number is for that one, but yeah. Oh yeah, you posted this this morning, so it's too late to get it same day shipping now, but maybe you can ship it out tomorrow. That is Heavy Metal Technology. On Discord, for my server specifically, can you put in parentheses your YouTube name? It's just, I'm not going to be able to remember people's Discord versus that. Unless you don't care that I will often mistaken you and not know that you are this on YouTube and this on Discord, you know? It's just, there's too many people to keep track of 2 usernames, but, okay. So yeah, anybody who's interested, I mean, this is like hardware swap, you know, you do, if you buy it, do PayPal goods and services so that there's no, you know, no one can get scammed, you're protected, all that good stuff. But yeah, I don't know if anybody's looking for Steam Deck, but thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And thank you for being a helpful member in our Discord server and helping with technical issues with people. That is one of the technical experts that we have in there. Thoughts on the 9070XT? Great graphics card. It's down to MSRP right now. It might not stay there for long. So if you're trying to buy one, I don't think you can go wrong with the 9070XT. If I get my GPU next week, is it good or no? Please. I don't know what this question means, but next week is Black Friday. If you're in the United States, there's likely going to be graphics cards for good prices. Hey, JFL and Engines, I'm the kid that had the mini bike. Yes, I remember. And then you showed me your room and stuff. To be honest, to anybody who is here from Omegle, I interviewed or talked to like 60 people. And there were probably anyone from like, some of them I talked to people like 40 minutes. I have like 15 hours of footage. And the average length of the conversations were probably 15 to 20 minutes. And I gotta chop it down to like less than a minute per person or around a minute or two. So not everyone's gonna make it to the video. I am sorting through it right now to see the best conversation. So if you don't make it, then I apologize. You might make it into a YouTube short if you don't make it into the full video. Right now is the time to snipe old Facebook Marketplace posts for memories and GPUs, assuming they are still available and people just weren't bad at updating. So Yeah. If I send my PC particular list, can you look at it? Let me know what you think. Ricky, if you post it in the Discord server, so if you go to the Discord server, which is linked down below, we do have a stream submissions channel kind of near the top here. People can post, you know, stuff that they want me to look at on stream here. Also, what was this post that I wanted to look at? Why did I say I found this gem? And yes, I have been permanently banned from Reddit. We've talked about this before. My account is banned, and I can't make a new one because they device and they fingerprint you in a way that you can't work around it, even with VPNs and stuff. Unless I got a brand new computer and ran a VPN and never ever used it for my phone, which is pretty inconvenient because I do most of my Redditing from my phone. So unfortunately, I can't post on Reddit, but at least I can still look at posts. Okay, let me see. Basic title found a neat rise in this. They're also looking to sell. Oh, okay. What do you guys think? It's not a scam. Good deal. Seller's account 2 decades old. Yeah, sounds legit. So what was this? Someone was selling a $500 PC with a 6800 in it. Why did I say this? Oh, it's because I looked at a comment. Reason. You could easily spend 500 on a mid GPU long as it pretty much ties with 9060 XT. If it reached 970, it wouldn't be that much mid-range. Remember, AMD bowed out. AMD's top tier. What was this? Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about. Okay, sorry. This was like a few days ago and I forgot. Yes, I want to take a look at this. How people separate what is a high, mid, and low card. Yes, because they're saying 100% is the highest end GPU. That makes a 9070 XT a mid-range, which I do not agree with, but we can talk about that later in the stream. We're still getting through the comments. Is 5070 for 400 a good deal? I only have 1080p. Yes, really good deal. Pick it up. You can get a monitor anytime. Yes, I remember, TJ. You made the mistake of selling your RAM and then it went up in price. But you know what? You didn't know that, you know, you're not a fortune teller. So it's not like you paid a lot for the RAM and lost money on it. You did a transaction as if anybody would have, you know, that as if the apocalypse wouldn't have happened. So whoever bought from you, they actually got a pretty good deal. So it makes you a good person for selling, you know, reasonably priced RAM. So yeah. Let's see. Hoodie and a thermal. Man, you have some good eyes. Yeah, it's actually pretty warm, but I had to wear the hoodie because that's what the thumbnail was today. This is my hoodie for when I'm talking about like GPU apocalypse or some sketchy scam stuff right here. This is the hoodie. This is that's what the thumbnail is. So I used that for the thumbnail. I had to wear it today. When I was younger, you were actually the first person who motivated me to build my first PC. I'm glad I was able to do that for you. Awesome. Thanks for, you know, telling me this story because that warms my heart that I am making a difference out here. Yo, I have $1,500 to build a PC or plan a trip to go to Japan. Ooh, that's difficult. Japan is for like the just the experience in general, but afterwards, it's like you have photos to show for it and the memories of the experience. This is tough. Versus a PC is like, if you use it every single day, it's kind of like food too. Like, when it comes to, like, spending money on food or traveling and experiences, stuff like that, it's awesome to do. But after it's all said and done, and you're back home, like, unless you like looking at pictures and remembering your experience there, and I'm not saying to never spend money on experiences, but if you have limited income, you gotta ask yourself, what is more important to you? Having something that you can use every single day for multiple things to bring enjoyment to you every single day, you know, whatever you're doing on it, video editing, photo editing, consuming content, playing games. Like, a PC gives you entertainment and happiness every single day for like 3 years or whatever the lifespan of it is. A vacation is awesome, but when we went to Japan in 2020, was it 2023 or 2024? That trip was awesome too. But I already had a PC at that point, so I wasn't choosing between one or the other. And right now, I mean, we do have a cool Japan video out of it. I vlogged the entire thing personally for me and my wife, so we do watch it from time to time. But I would probably choose PC first and then plan Japan next year or something. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's the best way to look at it, but yeah, for me, if you're limited on funds, you got to look at what brings you the most, you know, overall happiness over the long run. But feel free, everyone, to give your thoughts down below. Vacation or permanent item that, you know, sits on your desk, physically there for a long time. What up, Arnold Albert? Arby's deep fried turkey sub is food of the gods. Man, I still haven't been to Arby's for like many a years. Chicken bowl burrito is $9.35 for me. Just ate there the other day. Our chicken bowl burritos are not that cheap in Washington, unfortunately. But we do have a higher minimum wage, so, you know, cost of living and all that stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to get through the comments as fast as I can. I know we talked about Chipotle way earlier. I'm just trying to hit all the comments. Chipotle with guacamole and bottle of Coke equals $20. A standard bowl is $12. I went 4 days ago. A bottle of Coke? My goodness. A standard bowl is $12. I know there's tax, but then how does that... With guacamole, I forget how much guac is, but there's the meme that it's so expensive. So that's what, like $3 or $4, and then like $3 or $4 for a Coke? I can see that. I have a week left to choose between Japan or PC build. Do you have a PC build right now? That's the thing. If you have one, go to Japan. If you don't have one and you're on your phone right now texting to me, I might say get the... Especially with the prices, like RAM prices are already continually going upwards. And then GPU prices potentially going up. Like, it might be the safe choice to do that now. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, PC, you can... PC definitely says young, but... Because Japan will be there next year. I mean, the PC will technically be there next year as well, but... I think all of my other points regarding it still stand. Suggest me a GPU and CPU under 700, please? I mean, you're looking at a... I would say 9070... non-XT for around $500, and then the best Ryzen 5 you can get, like a 9600X or a 7600X, assuming that you don't need the motherboard, because you said only CPU and GPU, not motherboard included. Fugazi says, I personally take the trip to Japan. The PC can wait. Oh my god, wait. Oh my god, you guys are chatting so fast. We're gonna have to... I cannot keep up with this and then get on topic. We're already 20 minutes into the stream. Chipotle here, if you hack the order a little bit, you can get a crap ton for $12. Still expensive, but feeds too. Depending on how much you eat. These days, I can make a Chipotle bowl stretch for 2 meals. I have to limit myself. I could eat a full thing and stuff myself, or I could eat to content and then save the other half to eat to content again. So it's just like, how do you like to eat your food? Do you like to like get super full and stuffed, or do you just eat till you're content? So... what GPU do you recommend for NVIDIA if possible? Ooh, that's hard. I don't even know what price range you're working with, so that's hard to answer the question. Used RTX 3080s are in a good place right now, same as 3080 Ti's. You can sometimes find decent deals on 4070s, maybe 4070 Supers and Ti's. And then it's kind of hard to recommend the 50 series because... Oh, actually, no. I think the 5070 at the price drops that we've seen, like around $450, is a pretty good deal. So I would say, and 5070 Ti's are coming down below MSRP. So 5070 Ti if you're got more money, and if you're like trying to save money, use 3080s or 3080 Ti's. What up, Benzarino? Yeah, Ricky Purich. I'll look at it, but I usually look at people's stream submission stuff later on in the stream, not at the beginning. Any expectations for CES 2026 you're looking forward to? No expectations. Even if they announce things, well, it looks like the Super refresh is not going to actually be at CES. due to based on the rumors. And then I don't know if any AMD's gonna have anything up their sleeves. Yeah, I don't like CES. There's probably gonna be a lot of like new cases and AIOs and things that people don't find too exciting. But for major hardware releases, maybe like monitor tech and stuff, but nothing that I'm personally looking forward to as of right now. Last call for Jonathan M. Jonathan M, are you in the chat from last week? Mike Brazone with the trivia question. Anyone want to chime in on the #1 GPU in the world for sale right now in the channel limited to this current and 1 generation back? Chime in 3 minutes. #1 in sales. Ooh, what would my guess be? #1 in sales and last gen and this gen, you say? #1 in sales. I'm trying to think last gen. $7,800 XT. Just gonna throw that off the bat. Let's see. No, man, it can't be. No, I take that back. It's gotta be an NVIDIA card. You don't just get that market share without having the #1 sold card as well. 4060. We're just gonna go with that Steam chart. High percentage card. Yeah. Wonder what they would do if we started a thread unbanned no and just blew up. I don't think it would. I'm too small fry, so. But yes, I guess 4060, Mike. I wouldn't guess 5060 because it's still relatively new. Like, it didn't have as long of a run, you know? So it'd be crazy if for as short of a time as it's been released, it surpassed the 4060. Let's see. Have you seen the scalping on 5090s yet? They've said like hotcakes. I need to last till Friday to buy mine. 5090 scalping, I mean, they had that when it first came out, and then they've been relatively available at like micro centers and stuff at, you know, like 2300. But you're talking about like scalping beyond that, I have not seen that. But I guess it's probably happening again if this GPU apocalypse is happening. I choose the experience in terms of like going to Japan while you're young, do it. You can game whenever, but not everyone only uses their PC for gaming. Like all of us probably use it for much more than gaming, right? So, I mean, I don't know how old the person who asked the question is, but let's say they're 18. Going to Japan at 18 versus 19, I don't think there's too much of a difference, you know? But if you're like a little bit older, then maybe like you're against the clock if you're about to have kids, which makes traveling a pain, all that, yeah. You could find the love of your life on PC. I did not do that. I did find the love of my life on online dating, but that was through like using the phone. Maybe I've messaged her on the PC at some point. But I met my wife on online dating. How many years ago now? 11 years ago. Ricky, yes, I will look at your parts list later on. Just remind me when we get like later on into the stream. Anything new with the server? Danny asks Stang. The only thing is, did I show you guys last time? I forget. Were you here, Stang? Aside from getting image on it, let me see if I can log into it without doxing myself. What's showing here? Okay, I might be able to. But I wasn't sure if you were there. This thing? Okay. Let me see. Make sure I don't share anything. Okay, so here is my server. Okay, no. Boom. Okay, so here's my server right now. So I grabbed image, which let me. I gotta be careful about this, not to reveal Melissa's face. Let's see. Okay, is there? And then let me show pictures. So images. I forgot who suggested it to me, but it's like kind of like Google Images. So, okay, nothing. This is just pictures of the girls, which is one of the primary reasons I built the server. But yeah, so image, I forget who was the first person. I think multiple people suggested it to me. But it's kind of like Google Images, except with your own personal server. So like this is the latest thing I've done on it to back up the girls' photos. Alright, because we are getting so many photos of them. But I have not linked this or like opened this to the open web so that I can access it on my phone yet. So right now it just serves as pure backup and not as a, you know, equivalent to Google yet, because to do that I need to safely open up my server for access to this, but I want to do it safely so that I don't, you know, get screwed over and hacked and people can access all my sensitive data and tax documents and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it though. He can go to Japan on his PC through Ghost of Tsushima or Assassin's Creed Shadows, or what other Japanese games are there? Ghost of Yotai, right? What other games is based in Japan or feudal Japan? Yakuza. Sleeping Dogs is Chinese, right? Yeah, I don't think Sleeping Dogs is Japanese. But the Yakuza games and some other ones probably. What up, Cruiser? Okay, skipping. Okay, I think was Neo in Japan? I'm not sure. I have not played it. Okay, we are caught up in chat. My goodness. Thank you to everybody who is here today, though. It only took 30 minutes. We actually have a lot of people. Interesting. I wonder if it's from the new video doing decently well. But alright. Sorry to keep y'all waiting. Hopefully you were able to, during that time for small talk and getting caught up with chat, we're able to get a drink. I'm just drinking water. And a snack. I don't got a snack. But now let's get into some of the headlines for this stream. And it's probably going to be quick because there's actually not much to talk about. But it is something to talk about. So first and foremost, where is it at? Yes. So regarding GPU apocalypse, this was news broken today on multiple. Oh, I guess the original source was video cards. Yeah. So today, November 19th, at least where I live, gamers prepare your wallets for Black Friday. It may be your last chance to buy a GPU at good price. Suggest Power Color. So on Reddit, Power Color Steven, which I believe is an official employee from Power Color, posted, wait until Sunday for discounts to all kick in. Buy before the last week of the year before prices kick up. I'm curious if this was a slip up by Steven or if they intentionally put this out. Like, the article reads, we might have the first confirmation of the supposed, let me zoom in more so you can read along, supposed GPU price hike reported by Chinese board channel sources. As a recap, the story was GPU makers are now expected to increase pricing due to unexpected price increase for memory components, which is something that we have seen for the last couple of months now. As some of you may already know, NVIDIA and AMD do not just sell GPUs to board partners, they sell a GPU and memory bundle, which makes the purchase easier for AIBs, but also means they cannot source the memory on their own unless they have special deals. This means that when AMD and NVIDIA gives a quote, it also includes memory for the GPU, and the graphics memory is now seeing up to 30% price increase, quickly following DDR5 memory pricing, which is even higher. So it sounds like, because DDR5 has gone up like 100%. Currently, they're reporting 30% on memory, specific for video memory, but it's following the same trends. It might just be lagged, so we might expect it to continue to increase to similar numbers. Apparently, this is true because a Power Color representative on Reddit commenting on our story and later posting his own thread gave a heads up to potential GPU buyers. It looks like Power Color and perhaps also AMD is planning some kind of discounts for next week, which may be your last chance to secure a new GPU at a reasonable price. PR rep Steven also mentions that gamers should buy new cards before the last week of the year because prices will go up. So you can read this article and think one of two things. These people are looking out for us because prices are really going to increase, which, looking at everything that's been happening recently, I don't think that is too far-fetched. But if we want to put on, I don't have a tinfoil hat, but if we put on a tinfoil hat, what if this was just them manipulating the market? What if this was them trying to hit like end of year or last quarter targets for sales? So now they're trying to get everyone to rush to buy before end of year. Or it could be both at once. I don't actually believe that theory, but that's me playing devil's advocate. And for the people who are, you know, just haters on Team Red and want to spin this story in a negative light on them. But from a unbiased, neutral standpoint, I think you know, they're just trying to let people know what's going on. We've seen companies do that when the tariffs were happening and stuff like that. When Gamers Nexus interviewed like all the different SIs, the companies were, you know, just telling you what they know. So, and I think, I mean, it does benefit them, right? Because if they're forced to increase the price of things due to memory, for them having to pay more for the increased price of video memory, they know that people don't want to buy graphics cards at higher prices and there will be less sales. So it benefits them and us to give us a heads up so that we can get these cards while prices are somewhat more reasonable. So that's my take on this story. Let me read what you guys have to say, if anything at all. Let's see. You did miss the last stream staying. So yeah, that's all I did so far. But yeah, I don't know, man. You know, parenthood is very busy. I am constantly trying to juggle between the girls and whatever we have to do to keep this house afloat, like with regards to chores and everything, and then YouTube. So the streams are like such a blessing for me because it gives me a 2-hour chunk of dedicated time. That's to me, it's very easy coming on here, talking to you guys, hanging out. To me, it's kind of quote unquote low effort because aside from finding like a couple of news topics to talk about, it's, you know, I can do everything off the top. It is very unscripted, and you guys help me by bringing up conversation topics and things like that. So it helps me still put out content like I've said before. So I appreciate you all for that. But yeah, we did talk about that last time. Yeah, Image is amazing, Image. So people like it, and thank you for all of you guys that recommended it to me. 4068 is ranked 31st, huh? Wait, so what is the top ranked one? Did Mike Brazone reveal it yet? I have a 4060 in the ranking. The 5060 Q3 filled the channel. Big dump. So what is it? The 5068 gig. Oh, were you talking about just Q3? I think I read your question wrong. So you weren't looking at like the running total since the last generation. You're saying, okay, I totally read your question wrong. Though I guess, yeah, I wouldn't have said the 4060 because they stopped production and they kind of stopped being on shelves at reasonable prices since the 5060 came out. So it doesn't make sense that Q3 this year would have had higher 4060 sales than 5060. So I goofed there, but thank you for the knowledge drop, the sprinkle of knowledge drop, as you do every stream, Mike Brazone. I appreciate you. Okay, let's see. That's my next project on my server. Install Image to save pictures. Yes. It's a good app. Also, for my next recommendations, if you have any great videos on how to open up your server to access Image safely and not get hacked. Because from what I've seen for like home servers, people are very hesitant to open up their home server outside of their local network, because if you don't do it right, or if you like open the wrong ports and stuff, you leave yourself vulnerable. And I am very dumb when it comes to like server related things and just general networking related things. So I am so deathly afraid of messing up that. So that's why I haven't done it yet. So just go to a stream in Japan. Wait, what? Oh, watch someone streaming from Japan. So many live streamers travel to Japan and live stream it. And then sometimes they do bad stuff and get put in jail. They go straight to jail. I posted 32 gigs of DDR5 and Java for 100. Was that a good price? That is an amazing price. You posting that, it should get snatched up instantly. Jawa has a lot of deal hunters as well as flippers on there, or like PC builders that buy to like put systems together and flip. So I think that is a really good a really good price. You could easily get at least 150 for your 32 gigs, if not a little bit more. Why are you banned on video cards? Like in the little section down below where you can like leave comments and stuff. I actually don't have a video cards account and I've never left a comment. But I do, like, they are one of the top sources that pops up anytime I look up PC hardware related news. So yeah. The one thing about them is apparently they are plagiarized so much that you cannot like right or left click and select and copy and paste. Like this website is read only. Maybe you can like inspect or something and then get the source. No, you know what you can do? Actually, this is one good use for AI. And I'm not saying to do this to plagiarize, but I have had like a spreadsheet that was very badly formatted or something, or like an image with like numbers on it. All you have to do is take a snapshot of something, post it into like Copilot on Windows or ChatGPT and say, hey, can you add up all the numbers on this and average it? And it will do it. So that's a good use for AI. And you could probably tell Copilot or ChatGPT, hey, can you transcribe this image? And they will get all this into text form. So use that information as you will. Okay, dang it. There's another super chat. Did I miss it? Rosendo, let me go back to your super chat. I apologize. I'm so bad. Rosendo, okay, no, there's Heavy. Where's Rosendo? Have I not reached it yet? Okay, Rosendo. Apologies to anyone who super chats and I miss it. It is not intentional because I try to like keep the stream moving with the topics and stuff, but okay, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. I appreciate it. I have an i5 12600 KF, RTX 3060, and M.2. What can I upgrade with $1,000? You already have a 12600 KF. Ooh, this is a tough one. Definitely graphics card. Your 12600 KF can play with a much more powerful graphics card. It's kind of hard because if you go, I don't think you can afford a 5080 after tax and is all said and done. It'll be like 1100-ish or maybe even 1200 if prices. I have not looked at 5080 prices, but I don't think they're much below 1000. So I would say if you get a 9070 XT, see, the leftover money you're gonna have after getting a 9070 XT is gonna be like $350-400. That's not enough to get a good enough motherboard, and you might be on DDR4 with RAM pricing. I say with $1,000, get the best graphics card you can and pocket the rest of the money for now, because I don't think it's enough to upgrade CPU, which would mean motherboard upgrade, because we're not going to try to keep you on a 12th gen platform where it's like if you're going to do a CPU upgrade from a 12600 KF, you should go to AM5 or, you know, like something better. But that's going to cost too much for that bundle plus a decent graphics card. So my recommendation, best graphics card you can, because it will still pair well with the 12600 KF. You can run a 5080 with a 12600 KF. You just turn up all your settings and play at high frame rate, 1440p max or 4K. So you do that. And pocket the money for now, or you can, you know, get a 5070 Ti or a 9070 XT, and yeah, save $300 to $400. So that's my suggestion. I don't think you can get everything upgraded with $1,000 with just the way things are going, unfortunately. So, okay, okay. You can also get last gen cards too, like if you can get a 4080 for a decent price, if it scales well price-wise to the performance. But in terms of like new cards that's current gen, yeah, 9070 XT or 5070 Ti or 5080 if you can squeeze out an extra $100 for tax. What up, Eraser? What up? Okay. Steven Anderson says, because of the Microsoft account situation, I won't upgrade for a long time. until Microsoft says you don't need a Microsoft account. Account situation. What new situation is there aside from them removing the ability? Even though I recently set up Windows 11 with an offline account, and that's what you are saying. You can get Windows 11 still to this day with an offline account. I just did it like a few weeks ago. Even though I saw those articles that said they removed the ability to do that, it's still possible using the same methods. So I don't know why people reported on it being not available. But all I do is don't have any internet connected, IP config, refresh or reset all or whichever, and then as it's searching to try to like, you know, figure out the you know, the network situation, it says, oh, you can select the no network. Okay, how do we choose a motherboard? I want to future proof. I mean, motherboard wise, there's so many from so many different companies. I always go for kind of like the middle of the pack motherboards. I try not to spend more than like $200. That's like my cap usually when buying motherboards. Like for AM5, I just go for like B650, B850 ones, and I get the ones that get like the biggest, chunkiest heat sinks that doesn't have any known problems in its BIOS or anything. Hardware Unboxed does really good roundup videos. You can just go there, take a look at how the thermals are on like the back of the board, and you know, like how well they do for overclocking. Usually, even the worst ones perform like not too far off of the average. So yeah, I pick my motherboards based mostly on chipset, which is usually middle, you know, B series board, and connectivity to some degree, but all B series boards for the most part have the very similar IO, and then price, like whatever I can find on sale. Maybe I wanted this, you know, MSI Tomahawk board, but if it's going for 180 and then the ASRock one is going for like 160, I will likely pick the ASRock one so long as it's not a, like, you know, a bare board. But not everybody thinks like me. To me, the motherboard, like I'm not a heavy overclocker or anything like that. So as long as it can run CPUs at stock, like well, and like, you know, enabling PBO, it's pretty simple. It's not too taxing. Then that's good enough for me. I keep it simple. And I feel like people who are asking for advice on motherboards wouldn't be ones to like delve into it that much anyways, like to mess with like overclocking and some of the more detailed BIOS settings. So I think the mass general population of the average PC gamers will do well with an average board. Okay. USB count could be important too, but for a lot of the like if you look up features for each of them, usually unless it's like a specific like like a E board or something like that, a lot of the boards have very similar count. But yes, if USB is important, do the comparison and see which ones edge out the other in like 1 or 2 extra. There's never like a B like 850 board that has more than like what 2 USB ports compared to the other. If it's important to use specifically like which type of USB ports, then just do the comparison and make that decision yourself and see if it's worth paying like the extra $20 that a board costs over the other. Yeah, I get middle of the line motherboards and CPUs. The good thing is middle of the line CPUs these days are really good. Like Ryzen 5, you know, 9600X, that's considered middle of the line CPU, about like $200 compared to like $400 or $500 top of the line ones. Those can support like up to a 5080 no problem. So not many people are buying those CPUs and have more money to spend on a graphics card than like $1,000. So yeah, one Asian pair costs $350. I cannot afford GPU. Why are you buying Asian pairs? You gotta buy them Cosmic Crisp apples. Wondering if the 5080 is worth $1,000 at MSRP, or try to get 5070 Ti under MSRP. People have had luck overclocking 5070 Ti's without much effort close to 5080s. And if you're talking about $1,000 versus like $700, that I mean, from 700 to 1,000, that's like a 40. Is that 40? 700 to 80. Yeah, about. That's about like a 40 something % increase in price. But when you overclock that 5070 Ti, and I know you can overclock the 5080 as well, but even if you overclock both of them, the 5080 Ti, the 5080 does not perform more than 40-ish % than the 5070 Ti. So you do get a little bit of diminishing returns price to performance wise going with the 5080, but that's just how things go. When you go the top end, you pay more dollars per FPS for, like, you know, approaching the bleeding edge of tech. So I would say a lot of people would be happy with the 5070 Ti, and you know, with everything going on, pocketing the extra $300 or so, you could put that towards bills, groceries, and you know, are you gonna be that much unhappier with the 5070 Ti graphics wise? I wouldn't think so. When are you looking at stream submissions? Not yet. And if I don't get to it this week, I will get to it next week. But we have the second thing. So yes, that's everything going on with GPUs. So, and people were asking questions about GPUs. That's why I was answering them. Price hike incoming. Let's see. Next one. RX 9060 tested 15% cheaper than 9060 XT and 13 to 14% slower. So it scales linearly almost, because the amount is cheaper by is roughly the amount it is, you know, less in performance, which I see as a good thing. But the issue is they're comparing it to a 9060 XT 8GB, and people have a problem with the 8GB card. So I don't know what the numbers is relative to the 16 gig version, but I don't think this comparison showing that it's a linear decrease in performance versus price really matters, because most people aren't content with the 8GB 9060 XT. So this same calculation, do they do it here, needs to be done relative to the 16 gig card, because I think most people who kind of like are well versed in PC hardware, or at least do research before they buy and stuff, they're gonna skip over the 8GB 9060 XT card anyways. And this one, you can't even buy it as of right now, because it's only sold to OEMs, so you have to buy a pre-built. So right now, this is kind of just like a science experiment-ish, and I guess it's useful information to people buying like pre-built systems. But until people buy those pre-built systems, upgrade the graphics cards, and then sell them in the secondhand market, we can't really buy them outright, or until they hit like AliExpress or, you know, wherever. But yeah, I mean, this was relatively new news, published since last stream. Nothing too exciting here. It's just another graphics card that's available. But I mean, again, 8GB if the price is right is fine, but because how much is this gonna be? The 9060, the estimated value is around 260. See, at this price, and let's see where it ranks. Do they have the B580 in here? How did they not put the B580 in if the price is supposed to be roughly 250, and that's the B580 price? Hardware unboxed. No, why didn't you put B580? Those are available for sale now too. 9060 XT 16 gig is $350 today, which is, I mean, that's MSRP, but yeah, it's kind of hard to find better. What up, Shauner? Not terrible value. Also, hello, how you doing, man? What is up? What is up? What is up? I'm not following football too closely this year, but I think Broncos are doing pretty well, right? Aren't you guys like 8-2 now, or 7-2 or something like that? I was watching the Seahawks, and then I think they showed a blip of your guys' record as well. But we are doing decently well too. But we lost against the Rams, which is kind of sad. So we're now 7-3. But you know what's funny, Shauner? Yeah, 9-2. Yeah, you know what's funny, Shauner, that I always think about, even to this day, especially since the last trade. Not the last trade, but the second last trade. I always think, what do me, you, and Zach have in common, other than we all do, like, you know, PC stuff online? And do you know what that answer is with regards to football? And I don't know if we've talked about this in previous streams before, but yeah, I don't think we might not have talked about it ever since the last thing that happened was, but it's kind of sad how everything worked out now. But I'll let you guess for a second before I reveal the answer. Let's see. I think most people aren't concerned with 8 GB GPUs right now. They're concerned with investing in them. Yeah, yeah, yes, that we all had Rust, exactly, and we all had Rust, but like with each handover, he got worse and worse, unfortunately. So sorry you guys didn't get the Rust that we had in his prime. And I mean, you know, for how long he played for us and, you know, achieved the Super Bowl victory for us, even though he's not with us anymore, it does make me sad to see the route that his career has taken. So, but yeah, that is what ties us together other than PC builds. Yeah. Yes, I remember him beating us in the Super Bowl. And that was such an underwhelming game. Like, it was, like, kind of a blowout. Like, so it wasn't as exciting. And then we had to mess up. I don't think we really messed up. I go against the grain when we played the Patriots. I think Marshawn Lynch had been stopped at the 1 yard line enough times where it might not have been the go-to play, and that it would have been unexpected for us to do a pass play. It just ended up like not working out. If it worked out, everyone would have been like, genius, but it didn't work out. So then they say it's the worst play of all time. But sorry, we're talking about a little bit of football here, about something that happened like a decade ago. But if we did the run play and we got stopped, then people would have been like, why didn't you do a pass? They would have never like seen it. It's just, it didn't work out for us. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't blame Pete and, you know, the rest of the guys as much as everyone else does. They're only human. They made the decision. They're professionals, for Christ's sake. You think they don't know more and didn't analyze it more than us? Especially with how well they're doing that year? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, sorry about the football talk. Back to PCs. Let's see. What is a good budget? I always like Team Group SSDs. I'm okay with QLC, DRAM-less SSDs. Any drive that doesn't have, you know, reviews or Reddit posts about the controller failing, then I'm good with. Like, no premature failures and stuff like that. So the budgety drives, like they all, like the Spatium from MSI, and Team Group 1, I forget if the Kingston NB, whatever they're on, the Crucial P3s, stuff like that. Those are all drives that I typically use for my system. So, yes, I do wish we had a Micro Center here in the 425. Also, Seahawks should have ran the ball. I mean, I wish we were like Doctor Strange, where we could like see, you know, like every version of the universe outcomes, just to see how many times running the ball versus how many times passing it during that, because you know, that was only but that was like second down, right? So there was at least an attempt to run before. Oh no, was that third or second down? Now I'm forgetting, but there was an attempt to try a run. I know. And even if we got to fourth down, people were just saying like, just try even running on that with how close the game was. So, I thought Spatium had those Phison controllers. Which ones? Like the specifically bad ones, or let's see. What's more important, a CPU upgrade or 8 GB? You have a 5700G and a 4060. 5700G is still a pretty capable CPU. You can upgrade your 4060 to something much more powerful and you'll get a bigger performance bump for your graphics card than keeping your 4060 and bumping up to a better CPU than a 5700G. I would go GPU first, and then whenever you have money, upgrade the CPU later. But yeah, GPU first for sure in that combo for me. Team Group SSD and Time Tech is fine too. They've been around. I think Time Tech is kind of like becoming that company where at first people are like, oh, it's a Chinese no name whatever generic brand, but now they've been around for long enough and have had like the time in people's systems that people are comfortable enough to buy them for a discount. Upgrade the mouse first. Okay. All right. So we've gotten through those 2 topics. It's already 1 hour into stream. Holy crap. Lots to talk about. Stream numbers are doing pretty good. Hello, everybody. If you're new, if you came here from Omegle, you might not be in the upcoming video, but you at least will hopefully be. Well, I got so many reviews that I got to make shorts out of them. So, yeah. I can only fit like 20 to 25-ish interviews because of I can't make the video too long. People will lose interest. All right, is it time to get to stream submissions? Let me read chat for a bit, and then we can get to looking at that PC part picker list. If Ricky, was it Ricky? Who was it that wanted me to look at the PC part picker list in the chat? And hopefully you have the same name on the Discord server. What up, Rock? Hey, Nova, I just popped in to say I built another budget monster. This one took a while. $301 for a 5800X 32 gigs and a 3070. That's crazy given the price of RAM. Even DDR4. 5800X is like, what, 120-ish dollars, 125-ish on a decent deal, 1 terabyte. Yeah. I mean, a 3070 alone is like a $225 to $250 graphics card. So that is a really good price. Nice build. You're gonna flip it, I am assuming, or are you gonna use it? 850 watt power supply too. Assuming it's even like a decent one, that's worth at least like 60-ish bucks used probably. So nice work. GPU variations confuse me. Why would anyone buy a 5070 Ti Asus TUF for 850 when you can buy one for 730 and the 5080 is 1K? Yeah. GPU variations to me, I mean, it makes sense, kind of, if they like, you know, like for overclocked models and they get the highest bin to chips and they have to like make sure it's stable enough to run at those higher clocks that they sell them out of the box at, for the BIOS that they come with, and like the chunkier coolers and the fancy RGB and having the tax of having Asus Astro slapped on the card. That one, not so much. But you know, like there is some cost associated to selling higher binned and performing chips. But to me, it doesn't make sense. The performance you're gaining to the price you're paying. It's never linear. You are always paying much more than it is worth the FPS increase. But some people are going for the aesthetics and all that. Like, it is what it is. You guys know me. You guys have seen the builds that I build. How many times have I chosen cards that are either close to the entry level ones, or maybe just a step up? I never go for the premium, like, top end that each company has to offer, unless it was on a good deal. And that one time I picked up the ROG Strix white 3080 for my buddy to do a white aesthetic build. That was overpriced, but yeah, for the most part, I stick with like, middle of the road or slightly below middle of the road graphics cards, because performance at the end of the day is close enough, and that's where the value is had. Hello from Australia, says Jeff Plays. Hello from Seattle, what up? Indicline Danny, I got 75k views on my TikTok page. Am I clout demon now? I mean, did you get it from clout chasing someone else's name or content? Like, did you react mainly using someone else's content and then got those views? Or was this like strictly your own purely created content? If you like did a lazy reaction to a bigger channel and then got those views, then maybe that's kind of clout demon chasing. But if it was original, 100% original content and you hit the algorithm, then no, you are not clout demon. White 3080 is at least 12 gigabytes, right? Was that card 12 gigs? I do not remember. That's how bad my memory is. I hope it was 12 gigabytes, because we paid, and this was when there was still kind of like second coming of the crypto boom. So the prices were a lot higher for just like cards of that performance range, so we did overpay. It was actually a Micro Center open box that a viewer helped me get and shipped to me, so then we lost some money through the shipping and insurance. But we needed that white card for the white build. How many times have you been to the Portland LAN party? Unfortunately, only one time. Only one time. And I don't know when I can get to go again now that we have the twins. But it was a chill time. We didn't stay overnight. It was just a single day thing, but it was really cool. Yeah, just any type of like travel in general these days. I have to choose like what to do because I'm very limited by how many times I could do it. There was a 3080 12 gig versions, but the base was yeah, like I mean if we look at white Strix, let's see, we can even look it up. Was there a 10 gigabyte white Strix version? There was a Asus RG Strix 3080 10 gig. So it could have been 10 gigs. I do not remember because it was this white Strix one. But yeah, I do not recall. I would have to pull up the video, but let's just not look at it because I don't want it to be the 10 gig potentially. I would have been fully aware at the time how many gigabytes it was, but I would like to think I weighed all my options and asked my buddy, and we just went with what was best for the overall project we were trying to do. So I think I might have actually, thinking back, I might have screwed him over by getting a 10 gig card, but he's a pretty simple guy. He used his 970 up until 2022 or whenever the heck I did that video, his GTX 970 up until the year 2022. So he's not one to complain too much. I just feel bad personally if I screwed him over getting less VRAM. Okay, let's take a look. Ricky, was it Ricky? Which person was it that posted it? Oh, Ricky, yes, you're here. 856 Ricky. Okay, and I do have to end like at 7 pronto today. So there is no going over today. I'm running on fumes. I gotta do a call with somebody about a free PC giveaway thing, and then yeah, so I have to end, and then I gotta go hang out with the girls, eat some dinner, all that. So we gotta get everything done by 7 p.m., which is in the next 53 minutes. But Ricky, are you still here? So you just posted this with no descriptor. So what are we doing? We're just like, this is what you're planning on buying, and then you need advice on anything that looks off. Ooh, Ricky, if you're not here in the chat, we might have to move on. I know you've been asking about it off stream, and I told you it would be on the second half, and we are, you know, about an hour-ish into stream. We've reached the second half. This is when we start focusing on stream submissions and stuff. So no 8 p.m. end time. No. We gotta end at 7 p.m. I gotta call somebody and record something. And yeah, I'm excited for this next upcoming video. It is a sponsored video with a company that I enjoy working with a lot. And yeah, it's a fun time. It's just a lot of work because I overdid it. I'm only gonna show like 20 conversations, and I had like 60 conversations and 15 hours of total footage because I love talking to people about PCs. Let me see. Oh, can I actually put something in the browser to show you a preview of what I'm working on? Let's see. If I can, this might be cool. Maybe not. Yeah, let's see. Come on. No, I don't think I can. I can't do it as like a player. Okay, you guys just have to wait for the video. All right, where's Ricky? Last call. Ricky, are you in the chat? I'm gonna just keep answering people's questions, and I'll give Ricky a grace period. Maybe they got busy, so they're gonna have to ask again next stream if we do skip it. But I don't want to like answer the question and they're not here, and I don't think most people replay the streams, so I'd rather do it like live with them here. So because I'm gonna have questions, and I need like, you know, feedback based on stuff. I have a 67XT Merc card. Should I do a PC build? Should I do a build or sell the card? 3 fans. Like you just have a spare card? Up to you. I mean, if you enjoy flipping PCs and you want to gather up the rest of the parts to, you know, potentially make some money off of your labor, feel free. Flipping the card, 6750 XT, go for like what? The same, like 225-ish, 250, depending where you look. I think it's kind of safe to just sell the card, because even though you're getting labor, like the whole RAM thing is making things messy, and then I don't know how much you value your time, but like I feel like it's easier to sell a one-off graphics card than it is to sell a full system and make the same amount of profit, if you know what I mean. Actually, I don't even know if you're gonna profit on this card because it might be an upgrade, so it's hard to calculate that. But I'm just saying, I think it's harder to move whole PC builds than to sell a single graphics card, which could be snatched up really quickly by a flipper. As well as people who aren't flipping but just looking to upgrade their system. Whereas selling a PC, you are like specifically looking for kind of like people who don't have a PC. And I feel like there's more competition. There's so many flippers nowadays. Like, there's so many flippers that it makes moving individual hardware a little bit easier if you have it at a fair price. I know flippers sometimes try to lowball, but sometimes they're just looking to fill in that last slot, and they're willing to pay market value for it. So it's really hard to say. I don't know where you live. I don't know what the market is like where you are, but it depends on if you want to do more work or just sell it as is. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I have a 5700 X3D with a 30, 60, 16 gig. Think about getting a new GPU, CPU. I want to move on to AM5. Don't move on to AM5. If you have a 5700 X3D, just stay on it. Like, the AM5 move, unless you're willing to drop, like, because you're likely going to have to upgrade to DDR5. You're likely going to get, so you have to get a new motherboard. What do you mean likely upgrade? Unless you have an AM4 DDR5. Was that a thing? Or is that just Intel that had like 12th and 13th gen boards that could do DDR4 or DDR5 depending on the variant you got? Was there AM4 boards of a chipset like B550 that did DDR5? Because I never bought any DDR5 ones. I stayed on DDR4 on AM4 like all the time. I didn't see the worth at the time to get DDR5. AM4 did not have DDR5. Okay, so that was just Intel that kind of had both boards on the same platform type of thing. Just Intel. Okay, yeah. So that's, yeah. Going up from a 5700 X3D on top of a graphics card upgrade, and I think you mean you have a 3060 12 gigabyte, unless you had some special modded 16 gig version. But yeah, to make it worth it, a 5700 X3D performs pretty close to the likes of like a 7600 ish. So that would be a side grade, meaning you would want to get something better, like enough to make it worth it. So 9600X is out of the question. You're either getting a Ryzen 7 or like a 70, like a non-X3D one, or X3D one. So that's already at least like close to 300, if not 400 on the CPU itself. Then the motherboard's like 150 to 200, and then memory, you know, 32 gigs, because you're not going to want to put 16 gigs in it. 32 gigs is running for like 150 to 200, and that's just on the platform upgrade alone to get something worth it. And then you're still on your 3060 and still going to be bottlenecked by your graphics card, versus keeping your 5700 X3D and then upgrading your graphics card and getting an instant boost in performance, because a 5700 X3D can support much more powerful graphics cards than your 3060 can. So no Ricky, right? We don't have Ricky in the house. Ricky, I acknowledged that I was gonna get to your PC part picker list. I don't know if anyone saw. Ricky said that they had to go or something. Chat moves too fast for me to specifically see, like, you know, everything. But if someone saw Ricky said they had to go, hopefully they come back next week, because yeah, I don't want to really go over this without them here. I try to help everybody, but you guys gotta be patient with me. Okay, let's see. Was there anything else in stream submissions? Oh, my topic. because I don't think there was anything else specifically that people had. Ricky was in here, but that was back at like 5:48, so it's been like a half an hour, so maybe they did have to go. Okay, we're going on to the next one, which this I thought was crazy. So, okay, do you guys agree with this person on Reddit? So people are asking about, I think 6800, RX 6800. This person chimed in and said, it pretty much ties with the 9060 XT, which, yeah, I agree with. The numbers are pretty close. Though still losing at ray tracing, because, you know, it was last gen, which is a low-end card, not mid-range. 9060 XT, 16 gigabytes. Are we calling that mid-range or low-end? I think it's more mid-range. You might want to get into the intricate, like, you know, like, oh, it's entry-level mid-range. Like, it barely crosses the line to make it into mid-range, but it's not, like, true mid-range. If you broke mid-range down into upper mid-range, mid-mid-range, and low mid-range, like, it might be on that bottom half. I call it a mid-range, you know, I'm not trying to dissect it too much more than that. I think it is a little ridiculous to call a 9060 XT, given the performance it gives, pretty solid 1440p performance, a low-end card. But this is their reasoning. If it reached the 9070, that would be mid-range, which is crazy. I'm not even going on, like, price, which, you know, 9070 is $500, $550. Calling that mid-range, I mean, technically that's upper mid-range if we want to get into semantics. But, let me zoom in even more for you guys to see. This is the chart. Dang it, it doesn't have the full chart. Okay. The way this person categorized it is literally in 33% increments. So the first third of the whole performance hierarchy, which maxes out at a 5090, if that on Tech Power Up is a 100% performance card, everything else is relative to it, 5090, 100%. That to 67%, which is the first third, is high, the next third is mid, and then the last third is low. And then they use the Tech Power Up relative performance numbers to break it down. So there's your 5090 at 100%. You get to 66% mid, and a 5080 performs at 66% of a 5090. They're calling a 5080 a mid-range card. Am I unreasonable to think that this is kind of ridiculous? Anyone out here calling a $1,000 5080 price, even price aside, the performance that it gives, the second to best consumer graphics card available, with overclocking headroom even, mid-range at $1,000. But we can ignore the price. Just look at performance only. Performance that 5080 gives. We call that mid? I know it's the upper mid because it's 66 and the range is 34 to 66. But I see a lot of flaw in this person's reasoning. Yes! Anybody who's taken a statistics class or any kind of math class ever, and no, I'm not trying to like dunk on this person too hard, but like, yes, there is a thing called an outlier where if the performance is so far off the general trend of something, you usually sweep it under the rug and ignore it, and you rescale everything relative to stuff that is on trend. And I don't know what it would look like if we rescaled everything here, but I think it's more reasonable because of how close like the 5070 Ti is to the 5080, you know, 5766, which then would put these kind of in the higher end, and then this would also hit the higher end, and then these would be mid. So how many upvotes? Oh, okay, this person got 0 upvotes, so it means nobody agreed with them. But I mean, this person took the time to like go into the Reddit formatting syntax to like actually make a table in the comment. You can't just copy and paste this like is. You gotta like go in and like, you know, do like bars and slashes and stuff to format a table. Unless they threw it into ChatGPT to do it. And they cited their source to a reliable source that we all look at from time to time. But yeah. To me, I thought it was funny. I didn't take this chart too seriously, but when we talk about Reddit having, like, you know, sometimes people have some outrageous takes, I think this is a kind of a big example of that. I do admire the time that they, I mean, you know, I think this person is at least passionate about the topic because they've responded multiple times and put the effort to put this together. But unfortunately, I think it was a little bit misguided. How are you gonna have 5 mid tiers? Okay, we're not talking about medians and modes and stuff now, okay? We're not gonna get all into those the numbers like that. It's just, I think, just from gut feeling, like, most people would say the 5080 is not a mid-range card. I love Tech Power Up, but they're using Tech Power Up to spread propaganda. Oh yeah, I mean, anyone can manipulate facts any way they want, right? Like, Tech Power Up just gives raw numbers. I mean, they probably have some kind of bias based on, or like there is some bias built into the fact that games, you know, favor NVIDIA or AMD depending on how it was programmed and if there was a partnership between the game development and the companies and stuff like that. And I don't know if Tech Power Up specifically like chose benchmarks equally on each side of the aisles, like, you know, 50-50. So if they didn't do that, then there could be some biases already baked into the numbers that could skew one company over the other. But I don't think it was like intentionally done. But something like this, it's crazy how you can take data that is kind of objective and subjectively come up with a 5080 coming up to be mid-range, right? And I think to someone who's maybe newer to the PC space, they might like read this and say, hey, I mean, this makes sense. The numbers are there. The source is cited. A 5080 is now my definition of a mid-tier card, but my goodness. Yeah. And again, no hate to the person. Please do not, like, you know, this is, how old is this? This was 9 days ago. So, like, don't go and, like, harass the person. That's not the point of this. If you're gonna, like, respond to someone, do it, like, in a civil way and try to have actual meaningful discourse. Like my intention is not to bash them. I found it kind of funny, and this is a stream, so I'm trying to bring some entertainment value, but, like, if you respond to people online, keep it civil, please. I have to put that as the disclaimer, because some people actually, like, are filled with rage and hatred, and, like, can take something as unserious as PC hardware talk and get to, like, personal attacking and stuff. So don't do that, okay? Let's be responsible model citizens here. Will all 50 series sell out, have price increases? So we don't know anything like for sure. I would say the way to look at it is think of the worst case scenario. That is one of the worst case scenarios. So plan based on that. Because even if it doesn't happen, I don't think there's much to lose buying a graphics card right now. Like, ooh, it might get discounted in like a few months. It's not gonna be discounted by that much. Like, trust me. We're talking about graphics cards here. Unless there's like a new release, or we're like at the tail end of its, you know, what's it called? Relevant life cycle, it's not gonna get like big slashes in price. We can discourse and be respectful. Exactly, which is kind of hard to find nowadays. Especially when you get outside of the tech realm into like politics and stuff. But we're not going to talk about politics today. I'm just saying that's like one of the worst places where you see people attacking each other. Which is kind of crazy because it's like you could be neighbors for all you know. And like have like 99% of the things in common. But that 1% thing, people get super personal about. Back in the day, low end meant not being able to run certain games. Yeah, which is crazy, right? Because even today, a card like, let's say a 1660 Ti, which is like 6 or 7 years old now, that card can run, except for ray tracing titles, but it can run other modern games that aren't ray tracing specific. Like, at least run it at, you know, I think low graphics in modern games still look really good. At 1080p, decent FPS. So, I mean, technically it is a low-end card, all things considered, given the age, and it was, like, mid-range at the time. It's still, like, capable compared to integrated graphics, which is, like, really low-end. But, yeah, I don't know. I want to play GTA 6 at max settings. There, I said it. Naughty. You really naughty with that take. GTA 6 at max settings, it might actually, whenever it comes out, maybe the end of next year, maybe 2027, who knows, on PC. Okay, it's not coming out next year on PC for sure. With how much they've delayed it for console, it's like we're looking mid 2027, mid-year, if not end of year, if not early 2028 for PC. If they follow what they did for GTA 5. Now, if that happens, whatever graphics card is out at the time, let's say the top end 6090, the next card is gonna be a 6090. Nice. I feel like at 4K max settings, it's gonna have a hard time running it at least high refresh rate. Even at 60 FPS, just based on like. Actually, do I take that back? I feel like Rockstar optimized the heck out of GTA 5. We were playing GTA 5 with the 750 Ti at like 60 FPS, like medium settings. And by that point, the 750 Ti was like kind of becoming it was kind of like a very entry mid-range card. Yeah, I feel like GTA 5 was pretty optimized, so I don't know though with 6 if they're gonna like incorporate the ray tracing, and if it's just really like next gen graphics. Yeah, hard to put my finger on that one and guess. Danny, what is in your personal PC build? Main specs is a 12700K Intel. And somewhat recently, I slapped in a 4070 Super because I needed an NVIDIA card to export my Premiere Pro project file. Because my Intel Arc B580 was not playing nicely with Premiere Pro and I could not figure it out and I had a video deadline. So, and this was not the first time that has happened. It has happened multiple times, unfortunately, as a content creator. Gaming-wise, it was fine. Content creator-wise, even streaming, it was fine. I blame Premiere Pro. I don't know how much I blame Premiere Pro versus I blame the Intel Arc card, because it is specifically the combination of the two together that didn't render my video file, no matter what I did. So yeah, that's why I'm on an NVIDIA card. And I was thinking about maybe like, I could use this card and be good for the next few years easily. So, yeah, I'm a very money conscious person. Like, I kind of want to grab an MSRP 9070 XT. And I was planning to earlier this year, but now with the twins and actually being in the thick of it when it comes to how much it costs to raise 2 children off the bat, I'm definitely a lot more money conscious now. So that's why I'm kind of holding back. There was a 9070 XT in my local area on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace for $500. So I wouldn't have to pay tax either. It would be $500 flat. So no tax, no shipping costs, which would be a crazy deal on a 9070 XT. It was a power color Red Devil one too. And even then I held back. So, yeah, you're looking at a different financially responsible Danny now than compared to 6 months ago when the twins were born, or before they were born. But yeah, that's my system. I am sorry I rambled on that answer. Premiere, that's not exactly on a budget. Yeah, no, I thought about jumping to DaVinci Resolve. Unfortunately, I've been using Premiere Pro since I am around 16, 17 years old. So 20-ish years now. It's one of those things where the amount of time that I would need to invest to switch over plus how well Premiere Pros plays like with Adobe Audition, which I do sometimes have to go into to fix like peaking noise and stuff. And then like I use Photoshop. I know there's a GIMP alternative. It's like the whole freaking Adobe suite. I am so like invested in it in terms of how much I've used it in the last 2 decades, that on a professional level, because I do YouTube at a professional level, it's just worth the monthly cost to pay for it, rather than the headache of switching over, relearning everything, and missing some of the tools and plugins and the inner, you know, connectability or playability with the whole Adobe suite. You're talking about, yes, I am cheap. I hate paying a subscription for something like this. If I could buy Premiere Pro outright for $1,000, I would do it because of how long I've used it for. But I think about the DaVinci switch so often, but it is not an easy switch, especially for someone like me now who has even less time to like relearn stuff. So I should have done it when I was like only 1 or 2 years into the channel before I got busy. I messed up. GTA 6 is probably a troll. I don't think so. And the funny thing is, I feel like Elder Scrolls 6 is funny, right? The 6 games. They're the ones that are taking longer than a decade to come out. But I feel like games at this scale... Look, GTA 5 is over a decade old. It came out in 2013. It's 12 years and running. And it is still one of the most played games in the world and one of the most viewed games in the world because of like how flexible it is and what you can do with it, with like 5M modding and the streaming community doing what they do with RP and stuff. Like the fact that they're taking this long on GTA 6. If GTA 5 was anything to show for it, this might also be a over a decade relevant game. So it could be worth it. Same thing with Elder Scrolls. People are still playing Skyrim and modded Skyrim. And they're even using it to like mod the like Oblivion map into it and stuff like that. Like these games, and that game came out in 2011. So we're going on like 14 years with Elder Scrolls 6, if we don't count like, you know, remasters and stuff coming out and mobile games, like what is it, Elder Scrolls Blades or whatever on the phone. But yeah, like between major releases, these companies, they're keeping us waiting for so long. Like it's been coming up on, well, it's more than a third of my life already. I've waited for the next release, but they're the types of games that come out and they're relevant for over a decade and beyond. So it just sucks that, you know, I'm only gonna, in my lifetime, I might only get to see Elder Scrolls 8, maybe 9. Hopefully I live a long life. Elder Scrolls 9 and GTA 9 as well. If they keep on going with this decade plus release schedule. I plan to game until, you know, I pretty much die. So hopefully I live into at least my 90s. Late 80s and or early 90s, hopefully. Which is, you know, a long time to go, but still. GTA 6 is Half-Life 3. When was Half-Life 2 released? The thing is, GTA 6 is actually gonna come out. Half-Life 2 came out in 2004. So yeah, I mean, to the Half-Life fans, you guys got Half-Life Alyx for, you know, VR. What, 16 years later or something? But we're going on 20 years on Half-Life 2. So I don't know if that one is ever gonna come. What up, Pete Dunn? Hello, hello, hello. Oh, okay, we're 6:30. Okay, we're still good on time. I'm getting lightheaded because I'm talking so much. I also kind of gotta pee. Can I go take a bathroom break real quick? And then I will be right back. Half-Life 2 was insane. I remember buying the Radeon 9700 non-pro. Half-Life 3 will come out. I believe it. for waiting this long on something like that, do you think it will actually break all sales records? Like, I felt like Oblivion, sometimes I feel like my predictions on older games and the nostalgia is sometimes a little off. Like when Oblivion came out, I thought that the remaster, the Oblivion remaster, when that came out, I thought that was kind of like an internet breaking announcement and game. But I don't think it's actually doing as hot as my actual projections are. Because I think people have, like, Oblivion, you know, because it's just a major installment in the Elder Scrolls series. And it was like, you know, when Xbox 360 and PS3 came out, and it released on, I think it released on Xbox 360 first, right? When it came out on there, like, it was the next gen graphics compared to Morrowind. It was a huge game, and that was like over 20 years ago. No, it wasn't 20 years ago, was it? It's around 20, like 18, 19, I forget. But I feel like everyone knows Oblivion, so a remaster I thought was gonna, like, you know, break a lot of sales records and have like an active online player count on the Steam charts and stuff, and I don't think it really delivered. Part of it was probably because it has high system requirements, but I think people have also complained that it wasn't a good, like, remaster / port. So yeah, I don't know. GTA 6 will require adult ID for age verification. I can't tell if you're trolling or not. I wouldn't be surprised given how everything on the internet is moving to nowadays. I mean, we've had many years where it was very easy for kids to access mature games without much proof. I was one of those kids back in the day, but that was when my mom bought me mature games for some reason, because she didn't understand ESRB ratings or whatever. She was just like, let's buy a game for him to keep him distracted. He's doing good enough in school, and I'm working really hard and stuff like that, and I need a way to distract him and his brother. But yeah. No pre-break for Danny. Just gonna have to do the Amazon thing and whiz in a bottle. What that? Oh man. If GTA 6 requires anything of the sort that kind of ices out people with older hardware and older operating system, that's gonna, I think, well, that for one is going to decrease the amount of sales they could get. But also, it's gonna suck for me as a content creator who loves to play these new games with older hardware. Like, I do want to do a GTA 6 against, you know, the graphics card that came out with GTA 5 was relevant type videos, and that's what I enjoy doing. So, on multiple levels, yeah, if GTA 6 is gonna require a bunch of these things, that's gonna effectively require higher end hardware and the latest version of Windows and stuff. I consider that as an L for the gaming community, but if that's the trend that things are going, it's the encrapification of everything. They wouldn't dare alienate all Steam Deck players, would they? Well, did GTA 5... GTA 5 didn't even come to Steam initially, right? When it was released on PC? Or am I remembering that wrong? Did it release at the same time as Rockstar, what is it? Rockstar Club or whatever, and on Steam? I thought it was Rockstar Club first, and then Steam. But I might be remembering it wrong. But either way, you're talking about like the Steam Deck. Are they? Do we think there's gonna be a new Steam Deck when GTA 6 comes out, or are we still gonna be on the current gen one? Would they alienate the Steam machine people who are definitely gonna have mid-range systems? Are your parents gamers? No, my parents are straight up immigrants from war-torn country that came over during war times, and I'm first generation American for my family, and yeah, they did not have time for video games and stuff like that. They had to get acclimated with life in a country where they don't know how to speak the language, and they couldn't finish school and college and stuff, and had to go straight to work, working minimum wage jobs a large portion of my life. And my mom has moved up in the world, though. She has a pretty good position at where she works now. Not like college level degree, but like as close as you can get to that with like only a high school diploma. So I am happy for her. She loves her job, all that kind of stuff. And I think one time, because my mom has been on the channel, a viewer has told me that they saw my mom at her current workplace. So I thought that was kind of cool. My mom was one of the younger siblings, so some of her older siblings were able to go to college when they first came here. But she was young enough to barely be put in high school. And then she was kind of a troublemaker growing up, not the most like studious and stuff. So yeah, I think she tried to go to college and never finished because, you know, college isn't for everybody, so. GTA is a cheap game. I'll never forget the piece of paper I had with all... Yes! Dude, let me see if I can remember. Let's see. All the different combinations of getting your weapons. What was it? Like L1, R1, L1, R2, then like left, down, right, up. Or the variations were like left, down, right, up, left, down, down, down. Or like left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up, right, up. Like all the different combinations of getting the different weapons for the cheats in GTA. My goodness. If you gave, this is an Xbox controller, so it's messing me up. But if I had a PS2 controller right now, and you gave me either GTA 3, Vice City, or San Andreas, I'm pretty sure I could do the weapon cheat. Like, just from memory. L1, R1, L1, R2, then counterclockwise starting with left. We're gonna look this cheat up right now. Let's see. GTA 3 weapon cheat. Thank you for unlocking a core memory. Let's see. Cheat IGN. Oh, it was... Wait. That didn't feel familiar. Okay. All weapons. So, R2... What? This doesn't sound right. Am I mixing... I might have the Vice City specific one more memorized. Okay. R1, R2, L1, R2. Maybe I don't have it as... R1, R2, L1, R2. Oh, I skipped them because I said L1. Yeah. Okay, so I didn't have them memorized. Dang it. I still want a controller just to see if I could have figured it out. But yeah, if you know, back in the early to mid 2000s, everyone playing these GTA games on PS3 or Xbox, I guess, you know. Yeah, GTA cheats were crazy. There was like the extra hydraulics in the car which made it bounce. There was the floating cars. Yeah. What was the original Contra on? I don't think if it was like Atari 87. Oh, it was on Nintendo. Okay. I was very young when we had a Nintendo, and I, for the most part, was playing like, you know, Super Mario. Which one was on that? Was it 3? Like the original Super Mario and like Super Mario 3, I believe, was on it. And then I played it on All Stars on Super Nintendo. But at that time, I didn't even know cheat codes existed in games. The first time I used a cheat code was like Game Genie on Super Nintendo. Remember Game Genie? I think that was the precursor to Game Shark. I did a lot of Game Sharking on Game Boy and Game Boy Color. But in terms of like manually inputting cheats, I don't know if I played any of those like, you know, Nintendo and Super Nintendo games that had those kinds of input cheats, or at least I wasn't aware of at the time, you know, without the internet at the time, or magazines, or wherever the heck you would get this information from, that cheats existed. I think some of them, they actually put it in the pamphlet of the book that came with the box, but I probably was not reading it at that time because I just got straight into playing the games. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I would say Grand Theft Auto is my, like, most fond memories of inputting cheats in games like that. Oh, and I think when I found out, did you guys know 007 GoldenEye had that style of cheat codes? When I learned that, my mind was blown, and this was like years after the game came out. So in GoldenEye, if you guys didn't remember, to unlock cheat codes, you had to beat certain stages, like do it at certain difficulty levels under like certain times, and like certain like achievement points, I guess. Like you'd have to achieve double agent on the facility level to unlock invulnerability specifically, right? So you have to be good at the game and get a certain like agent rating after beating it, which I was sucky at that game, so I wasn't able to do it. But years after the fact, I found out that GoldenEye also had button inputs to be able to unlock those same codes. I saw it while at like a Barnes & Noble's reading a like a compilation cheat code book. But another core memory, because I was too embarrassed. I didn't want to buy the magazine because I didn't have any money. And I was with my cousin at the time, and she was a girl who doesn't play video games. And I was too embarrassed to be that person to write down the cheat codes and not buy the book, so I had her write it down. So core memory unlocked there. Sorry. I know I'm rambling a lot, guys. I need to read chat. Yeah, Danny lore. You guys are getting some Danny lore. I am running on fumes, like I said, so I'm getting a little bit delirious. Running on little sleep and food. So, all the rich kids had Game Shark. We definitely Dong Too Long. Every single time, Dong Too Long. What's up? I wouldn't say we were rich, but because of the circumstances that we had, our mom was able to get us games, even though she had a minimum wage job as a single mother raising 2 kids, because we did have family members that helped out, that let us like live with them. So when you don't have to pay for rent, or if you have like super cheap rent, a lot of your income is now becomes more disposable, right? So yeah, we were lucky in that my mom was willing to buy us video games at a young age, even though we also weren't rich, which I think is a pretty common story. You know, you hear a lot of times where people complain like, you know, people who don't have money make poor financial decisions, which you could consider, you know, the situation we were in. Our mom buying us video games was not the best financial decision, but we made it. But yeah. Did you have Game Shark on PS2? Didn't Game Shark on like PlayStation at least require like you putting in an initial disc and then swapping it out for a different disc? I don't remember if Game Shark on PS2 was its own like, you know, memory card little adapter or something, or was that also a disc that you had to swap out? But no, the only thing I had for cheating was Game Genie on Super Nintendo and Game Shark on the Game Boy. That's it. I never had a Game Shark after that. Dan, where are your parents from? This is kind of like a deep cut question because I don't always talk about my ethnicity, and I think it's kind of a fun game to not tell people, but the people who know. And it's not like I don't want to tell you, it's just I don't openly advertise it, but it does come out from time to time. And I don't know if chat's gonna ruin the game by saying where like my ethnicity and where my parents are from, but I'll let. I'm not going to answer it. The Low Budget Gamer. I like your name, Low Budget Gamer. Anything with budget in it, I appreciate. But, it shouldn't be... I wonder... Okay. This is what we do. We're going to ask ChatGPT. Does the internet / chat GPT? You don't have to tell us, but it'd be cool. Well, let's ask. What ethnicity is the YouTuber nerd on a budget? I don't think I'm a big enough YouTuber where it would know. Unless it can scrape YouTube comments. And because people have put in comments where I'm from when other people have asked. Is ChatGPT gonna know? We're gonna start a poll. Will ChatGPT correctly guess my ethnicity? Or all right, what are we thinking, chat? Bro's googling himself. I know, that's so cringe, right? That's a meme in itself. I'm not googling myself. I'm ChatGPTing myself, which will scrape Google data. This is my validation. If ChatGPT can guess, then I will feel validated in all my efforts in being a content creator. But I could be embarrassing myself right now if it won't be able to. ChatGPT will hallucinate a new country for me. Are you a fan of Dune: The Dark Ages? I haven't really played through it. I benchmarked it, but I haven't played through the story. Yes, Dong too long. But not everybody gets that reference. Yes, you've met Linus, so I say yes. Okay, let's see the votes. Oh, we got almost a 50-50 split. We're at 48-52. Oh, okay, I'm talking so much. I'm getting lightheaded. I need a snack. I got 9 minutes, guys, because I got a call. I got to do this call. And then I'm going to eat the dinner. Okay. The votes are in for anybody who has voted. Slight tip of the scale towards people saying ChatGPT will not know my ethnicity. Let's go. It will totally know. Being poor sucked. I had to flip cigarettes. Ooh. That is another level that I would not have thought of. Was your mom okay buying GTA games? Yeah. My mom had no idea what kind of video games we were playing. Quite literally. She would be like, oh, you want this game? Okay, you know, you got like straight A's in school. You're a pretty good kid. I need to keep you distracted because I'm leaving you at home. Probably at too young of an age, but I gotta go to work. And kind of stuff, right? Like, video games is a way to keep kids occupied when they're at that age where they can kind of take care of themselves by making top ramen while parents had to go to work or work double shifts and stuff like that. So she was cool with buying us whatever games we asked for because for the most part, we were good kids growing up and we got good grades. So she trusted our judgment, but you know, and for the most part, I wasn't only playing mature or rated whatever games. Like, I like GTA, but we also played a lot of, like, RPGs, Final Fantasy, you know, those types of games that were, like, appropriately rated. Okay. It will know, I bet. I know! I gotta take a B, and I have that call. It's fine. The call is actually at 7:30. I just need to get some leeway to set up, like, recording and stuff. But, okay. We're all just one big online family. Exactly. All right. We still got 47-52. We've got a decent amount of votes. Let's do it. We're going to ask the question. ChatGPT, in your all-knowing knowledge. His last name, Lee, suggests Vietnamese heritage, though I found no public sources. So ChatGPT, if you like, I could try to dig into interviews, public records. Yes, please dig into them. Because that was not a definite answer. This answer is still up in the air. It looks like I can't access any external web resource at the moment. What? What is wrong with you? Why can't you? Are you like down at the moment? However, based on the name Danny Lee, it's likely he has some Vietnamese heritage as Lay. Okay, you already said this. If you know more about his background ethnicity, check out his social media accounts. All right, what are we saying, chat? Did ChatGPT give a definite enough answer, or was it too up in the air? Public records is crazy. My son gets A's but rages at games versus his brother, so we cut him off. Yeah, I mean, video games and grades, there's not like I don't think there's a correlation with like, just because you get good grades means you're gonna be a model citizen when playing video games. I don't think I raged when I used to play games back then, But when I was more of an adult playing League of Legends in like college, I did rage a lot while still getting good grades in college. So nope. So people say nope, partially. And this, folks, is why AI is just dumb. Too up in the air. I've been here for 2 hours. ACC, where you been? Where have you been? Law, when Bluetooth first came out and the guy next to you at the urinal was talking himself and everyone got like that jawbone. The jawbone was like the next evolution. Bluetooth. Well, first hands-free was like, you know, the headphones and whatever. And then it went to like the smaller in-ear one and then the jawbone conduction ones. And now people have like the behind the ears, all types of Bluetooth. Now it's just like you got earbuds and it has the things in it. It doesn't even need to be like, you know, certain shape. It's just earbud shapes. So yeah, the evolution of Bluetooth, I would probably watch a whole video breaking that down. That would be an interesting, you know, history throwback thing. They guess Vietnamese just off your name, lol. Which, I mean, let's see. What ethnicities have the surname LE? The most common is Vietnamese, but then the Romanized Chinese has the LI. It can be found among Chinese and French origin. Yeah, French makes sense because like le, you know, le, the word like le. I am le tired. Let's see, Lý Dynasty in Vietnamese carries historical Romanized version. Lu, Old French. Yeah, le means the in Old French. So yeah, it could be going back like a French surname. But if you know history, then you know when it comes to French. I prefer this answer than making stuff up. I think you can, yes, you can definitely manipulate ChatGPT. People do that all the time. You can manipulate Grok, which people also do all the time on Twitter, if you're ever on there. When people are having political discussions on Twitter and they ask something to fact check and it's not the answer they want, they like try to remold the question to like guide Grok to say what they want to hear. Yeah. AI is nothing but a search engine. That is true, but it can do it much faster and cover many more resources. It's just you gotta fact check it. Like the fact that in this case it was not able to pull up a lot of information, but when it does pull up info from like interviews or public records and stuff, it can do it, I would say, much faster than the average human can. But the fact that you have to fact check it might, you know, be like, why not just have done the research yourself? Do you say Lee or Lay when introducing yourself? I just say Lee. It's just what I've said for the most part growing up. And I think it's pretty generally accepted to say both ways. There's probably one more slightly correct way to say it, but I just say Lee. That just gave a clue as to what I may be. Could have said Laotian, that would have been different. That is true. We got any Lao people in the chat? A lot of people do guess Filipino due to my generally dark complexion in the summertime. All my boomer friends talk on speakerphones and it's kind of annoying. Wait, in decline. I forget how boomer are you? I'm sorry. I don't have everybody's age memorized, so even if you've told me, yeah, unfortunately, my brain is too tiny. I don't have a public record of all y'all's information, like, written down somewhere. But okay, we are coming up on the last minute of stream. We will have a stream. Will we have 2 streams next week? I really want to do a Black Friday stream. It's just gonna be tough because, you know, after Thanksgiving, we're doing it at our house. Like, we're gonna have the family over. Then it's gonna be like, you got that food ultra coma, and then waking up early for Black Friday sales stream. I don't know yet. We're definitely gonna have a stream on Wednesday as always, unless something like family emergency comes up. But hopefully I could do a Black Friday stream as well, because I think it would be fun just to look at the prices and see if anything actually goes on sale. On Wednesday, we will see Black Friday week sales, like early Black Friday sales, but I want to see like Black Friday itself. So, Pete Dunn is a 67. No, did you just do that to say, for me to say 6'7"? Or are you actually 67 years old? I'm not obsessed with sharp knives. I do enjoy my fair share of lumpia and adobo. Among other cuisine. I just listed like the 2 most common ones. Like pancit and, you know, stuff like that. I know. I am with the culture. Yeah. Alright, guys. It is 7 p.m. Time for the cutoff. I appreciate you all. Thank you for making this a very fun stream, keeping me going, even though I am severely delirious and running on fumes, being hungry AF. But I'm in the Discord server, or I probably won't be able to be in the Discord server that often this week because I'm trying to wrap up this freaking crazy video. But yeah, I will see you just wherever you can potentially find me. But we do have very helpful people in the Discord server to help out if you do, you know, need anything. And yeah, see you guys same time, same day next week, potentially twice. Take it easy. Bye bye. I love you guys. I never say this, but I love you guys for real.